Working on a weekend like usual. Way off in the deep end like usual. Niggas swear they passed us, they doing too much. Haven't done my taxes.
Welcome to From the Seven podcast, ladies and gentlemen, where we always bring a different perspective to the mindsets for the real world. As always, I'm your boy Deuce. Today I got Bucket Hat Stat with me. Always my right hand, though. But today's topic, we're going to get into the business side of sports. Very, very uncomfortable topic, man, because sports isn't sports anymore. It's always a business, always has been a business. Talking too fast, y'all. Always has been a business, but now it's a business on lower levels now.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, quick announcements.
Yep, guys. So make sure you're following us on Instagram at From the Seven Podcast. We're also on TikTok at From the Seven Podcast. Subscribe to the Stat TV YouTube page. That's where we are going to be dropping all of the episodes, which you're looking at right now. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you also like the video on your way in. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers right now to continue to bring value and bring content to you guys. So if you like what you see and you like the content we're putting out, like the video, subscribe, send it to a friend, let them know to do the same thing. You can follow me at StatZay on Instagram, Deuce at _Deuce West. If you want stat merch, like I got on right here, Strive to Achieve Together hoodie. The link is in my bio. We got From the Seven merch still on the way. We're just making sure it's perfected, so it's all good. We got that on the way for you guys. But as always, man, we appreciate everybody that continues to show love and show support. We want to continue to add value to you guys. And at this point, I think we've given you guys a lot to go off of, man, and we appreciate everybody that's been reaching out. And we want to continue to do this, man. So if you guys have any suggestions or any topics you want us to cover, make sure you reach out to us for that. We got a lot more in store for you guys. This is really just the beginning, but we want to make sure we're offering as much value as we can. So definitely excited about this episode we got today, man, talking about the business side of sports. Something that I think that's not really talked about too much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit understood, but at the same time, if you come from the sports background, it's still very foreign. So I think getting into that topic today, especially with the knowledge that Deuce has and a couple of the perspectives that I have, it's going to be something that you guys are going to want to tune into. So without further ado, bro, let's go ahead and get into
Let's
that.
get to it, man. I think, it's a tough time for, young kids growing up that play sports, because when we were coming up, it was about sports, right? Now you got, you're getting paid off your likeness. You're getting paid to play high school basketball. It becomes less about the sport, more about monetary value. So, again, back in the day was when you had to become a professional. I know you met somebody, in Vegas that you want to touch on that, how he kind of talked about how it wasn't fun anymore after a certain level.
Yeah, so crazy story, man. I lived in Vegas around 2015, 2016, and the place that I was staying at was off of 8th Street and a couple blocks away from the Strip. It was a small apartment building, but there was a lot of people that lived there. It used to actually be like an old folks' home, and so they're really close together. It was almost like a grown-up dorm, and it was really dope, actually. And I remember getting into the elevator, and at the time, shout out my bro Randall, Young Heat. He was making clothes. He did the Goyard hats, and I had one on. And I get in the elevator, and I see this dude, and I didn't really think too much of it, but he was like, yo, that hat is dope. And then from there, we just started having a conversation. Come to find out, his name is Jalen Kendrick. Shout out to my bro Jalen. Coming out of high school, he's from Atlanta, but he had went to UNLV after I think he went to Memphis at first. He got into some situations with basketball, but he ended up going to UNLV, and he was living there. And so after us talking, I let him know I was there to do training, and from that point on, he kind of took me under his wing, and he introduced me to the coaching staff at UNLV. He let me tour the building, the facilities, and everything.
Nice.
And at that same time, the Summer League was there. The Adidas uprising, the AAU circuit was there, and then you also had the USA team was there and stuff. So it was a lot going on at that time, and I got to meet a lot of cool people. But I just remember we was working out one day, and shout out to Jalen, bro, because he actually put me in an uncomfortable situation when we first got in the gym. He was showing me around, and we was gonna go in the gym and just do whatever. His boy was in there actually. He actually was playing for the Cavaliers G League team at the time. And bro was super tough, and I just remember being like, yo, it's got to be hard to play in the league because this dude is tough, and he's trying to earn a spot in the G League, right? And we were watching him work out, and Jalen's like, yo, put me through a workout. And I was just like, what? And I didn't really know what to do, and the workout that we ended up doing was kind of ass, but, like, he ended up giving me a lot of feedback about that, and we ended up going to.
Wait, you remember? You remember what y'all did? Like,
and I wouldn't. It wasn't trash. To like I didn't know what I was doing, but it was stuff that wasn't really translating to the game, and that's kind of what he told me. He was just like, when you have somebody go through drills, you know, you want to put them through drills that simulate the real game. So we were doing stuff where it was like come down and hit a move at the 3-point line, and then hit the same move again at the free. Like it just didn't make sense for the game. It didn't translate, and he gave me that feedback. And just to give you guys some background on who Jalen is, and hopefully we can get him on the show. You know, coming out of high school in Atlanta, he was the number 5 player in the in the nation. He was a McDonald's All-American. Like he played in the game. Like he was the next best thing. Like at this point today, 2022, he just got the key from the mayor to the city. Like he has his own day and everything. Like bro was really a big deal. But you know, I think he succumbed to a lot of the things that a lot of athletes who have that notoriety have when they come out of high school, with the ego and things like that. And he got into some trouble. I think he went to Memphis when he first came out, and he was projected to go to the NBA. But when he got in trouble, everything changed. So fast forward to, you know, when I met him and we ended up working out, and he's talking to me, I ended up asking him like, what makes a good trainer a good trainer? And like the advice he gave me was just like, the guys who don't have the family and don't have the responsibility usually can be more present and things like that. And that conversation led to me asking him about his journey, and he just told me straight up, like, bro, being a McDonald's All-American, after high school, basketball was no longer fun. And I asked him, what did he mean by that? And he's like, at that point, you got the best trainers in the country reaching out to you to work out. And he understood at an early age, being a McDonald's All-American, that it's a business. And at that point, the game was no longer fun. And I think that led to him making some of those decisions where he got in trouble just because he kind of fought that passion of loving the game with the business side of things. And I think, you know, we don't talk about those things as much because we look at all the upside, but there's so many things within the game from the business side that it just it tears guys down and takes that love away.
And you know me, man, my mind is
You're very in tune with it.
Yeah, I'm 25 steps ahead, and it makes it uncomfortable for me when I have conversations with people who are blinded by it because they're like, "Nah, man, this is this and this is that. No way." So it's right here in our face.
Yeah.
When you got people like that saying it. One thing that struck me the most was Larry Sanders. Shout out Larry Sanders, man, VCU legend. But he went to the NBA, man, and everybody outside looking in is like, "Yo, this is dope, right?" And then he got a contract. Forgot how many years, but I know it was around $40-some million. Yeah,
because he was also playing with Milwaukee at the time that Brandon Jennings was on the rise.
Yeah, he was playing with Milwaukee. Yep.
So it was dope.
And he retired out of nowhere, and they had to buy him out. So then he signed, but then he actually retired, and he just took the buyout money. But I remember hearing him talk in an interview, and he said that it wasn't fun anymore. He kind of brushed past it, but he's like, it wasn't fun anymore. I found something I like to do. I think he started to.
He was doing the creative stuff.
Yeah, he was doing creative stuff. Yep. And when you think about it, you sit back and think about it, right? You work in high school to go to college, college to go to the pros in whatever sport you want to do. That's your goal. And once you get there, you realize it's not what you thought it was going to be, right? Unfortunately, nowadays, the business was back in the day, the business was only professionals. Some D1, it was starting to get there, but now it's all college. And now it's higher tier high school.
Yeah.
Because when you really think about it, let's use this athlete for an example, man, Mikey Williams. I got a chance to see Mikey Williams play last year. I was coaching at Combine, and Mikey came, and he was hurt. He was nursing an injury. Don't get me wrong. But there was money tied into it. It was money tied into if he was going to play or not. And, you know, some things happened where they had to, you know, kind of iron out the kinks. And he walked into the gym and there was 60 minutes left, or 60 minutes to warm up. And they didn't have the kinks ironed out yet. So his manager told him to sit down and chill. So he sat down and he just was relaxing. And I just remember seeing him, man. I'm like, dang, bro, that's a high school dude. Probably got 20,000 or more on his neck as far as jewelry. He had 2 phones. And just his mindset, you can tell outside looking in, somebody who really grew up trying to play the game that we love. He didn't have that same love for it. Because anybody, if I can play, I'm playing. Yeah. And he playing against Combine. He playing against Rob. Shout out Rob Dillingham. It's a marquee matchup, right? And Rob want that smoke. And it's like he was just chilling, bro. And then something happened and the kinks got ironed out and there was 10 minutes left on the clock. And he got up and went and got dressed, came out with like 3 minutes left and did a couple warm-ups and then played the game. But there was a motive behind it. And it was money. Fast forward 1 year later, this dude signed with Puma now. Like, he don't really show up. He show up to the games when he want to, but he got other obligations because he a millionaire at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He making that type of bread. So the love for the game, what love for the game? I love this money, you know? And as a kid back in the day, you didn't have that. It was only the love for the game. Yeah. So the dudes that we talking about, the Larry Sanders, your guy in Vegas, like, they didn't understand that till they got closer to that professional rank. These high school dudes are getting that same monetary value at a very, very young age.
Real quick, I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think that because when I talk about Jalen, who was a McDonald's All-American, it's definitely different. But I think that the money is just what trickles down more now to the younger guys. But he did tell me, like, he wasn't having fun with the game anymore because it became a business. And what he meant by that was, when you get to the college level, you know, that coach is trying to keep his job.
Absolutely.
So it's not really just about basketball anymore. It's the politics and all the other stuff that comes with that. And I think, you know, what is crazy about where the game is now and what you're talking about is that used to be the only thing that guys had to worry about, because now you had to treat basketball like a business in terms of you're not just working out because you want to be the best guy on your team and you love the game. You have to do it because of that, but also because it's like, I'm an asset to this team and I have to build that. Now that has turned into the love of the game isn't there because the money is there. So now everything is geared towards the entertainment value of it.
And then also, too, you know, to piggyback off that point, you got to look at it like this, too. You have guys that go Division I, right? And, you know, we talking about the NIL getting paid off your likeness. You got dudes making money. Like, I think money. Bryce Young, Alabama quarterback, I think they said he made like 2.5. I could be wrong. I think he made a little bit more than that. But you talking about a young guy, and we talk about self-awareness again a lot. Probably not self-aware at that point, but now getting thrown all that money, right? So everything is kind of skewed now. Like every action that I make is skewed because every action that I want to make now, I need to gear it towards, is it going to make me more money? Is it going to make me more money to play in this game or not?
Yep.
Is it going to make me more money to go show up at this tournament and play for this random AAU team or not? Like, that's the difference, man. And it's unfortunate, bro, because professional sports has now became a watered down entertainment system, right?
Yeah.
It's a watered down entertainment system. So now those higher ups and those leagues have to understand, damn, how can we get the game back to the pop of the flair of we want people to be tuned in and watch. Yeah. That's when gambling and that's when sports gambling became legal. Because now maybe I don't give a damn about who wins or not, but my money tied to it, I'm trying to win some bread, right? And for a guy like me, once Kobe passed, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'll watch the Lakers, but I like my money more than I like the Lakers. So I know the Lakers trash right now. So I've been winning. I've been cashing out saying the Lakers were going to lose. Yeah. But that kept me tied to the game. And it's a lot of people that's like that. And that's unfortunate because now you talk about back in the day, you were just a fan. Yeah. You're like, oh, this is my team. Now I'm like, yo, my team, I can make some bread off my team. All right, cool. I'm going to do that.
And the thing real quick I want to say about that, because we talk about this a lot. And, you know, I know people have different views on this, and I'm not here to say what's right or what's wrong, but, you know, understanding business in general in the country and the world that we live in, anything that's tied to money, there's some control there.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about billion-dollar industries here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about no chump change.
You're not just leaving it up to chance when you
come on, man. We talk about billion-dollar industry. You don't think they know the outcome?
For sure.
They know the outcome. Sure. They need to know the outcome because our money tied to it.
Yeah.
Vegas is only Vegas because it's the money that comes through there. Yep. And Vegas is not going to lose. They may take some small L's, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not going to lose.
Win at the end.
They're not going to lose. Mm-hmm. And, you know, how many people do we know that's hoopers, just in our personal lives that like, yo, they are phenomenal basketball players, but they're not marketable enough.
Yep.
Because the
Those
NBA,
are the guys that always say, "Man, I should have been in the league, but this didn't happen or that."
bro, the
didn't happen.
NBA is all about marketable basketball players.
Yep.
They're
You gotta
good.
ask yourself when you look at it like that, why is that? Why is that? Because how many guys are mad about that fact?
Absolutely.
Man, I should be in the league. They got these trash dudes in the
Yep.
league. I know I'm better than
Yep.
them. You gotta ask yourself, why is that?
Yep.
It's a business, and a business. When you say something is a business, that means there's money involved and there's profit involved, and that changes everything.
I'm gonna share a quick story real quick. Because anytime I get around somebody that's, you know, played at that level, I know they can't really talk about it, you know, because it's serious, bro. Like,
Yeah.
people's livelihoods are at stake. This ain't no like, I'm gonna just go around and let people know that it's controlled. They can't do that. You know, I can sit here on this platform and talk about what I believe and what I strongly believe in and what I have evidence for, but nobody's really going like, oh man, let's really not. I didn't play at that level. You know what I'm saying? But somebody that played at the level, they can't really talk about it. I'm in Miami, bro. I'm working out at the time, man, with the Houston Rockets strength and conditioning coach. I ever shared this story with you?
I remember you told me about it.
And it was cool, man. Shout out my brother Manny Hernandez. I was actually going down there to work out with him. He was gonna go out and go work with the dude. But Manny had some things happen with his overseas team where they weren't giving him his bread. So he was like, bruh, I got to stay till I get my money. You know, he already paid for the workout, so I really didn't have to pay for anything. So we down there, man. We working out. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Toughest workouts I've ever been through. Right.
And you said that was like, he told you.
So, yep. So one day he said, you know what? I want you to follow me around the whole day. Day in the life of somebody in the NBA. I'm not going to say no. I'm like, yeah. He said, you're going to eat. You're going to eat what I give you. You're going to rest when I tell you to rest. We're going to work out every time I say you got to work out. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, bro, I'm eating trash-ass granola bars and protein bars and
cardboard all day.
Healthy food. You know, I'm not knocking healthy food, but like, I'm hungry. I'm starving. He like, yo, let's go to Whole Foods, get a salad. I'm like, yo, what the heck? So he, you know, puts me through this day in the life of an NBA player. And at nighttime we lift and he's like, oh man, let me check my phone real quick. Check his phone, makes a phone call. He just put his shoes on. Okay. All right, man. See you. Dag, man. Tyreke Evans was down the street. If he was still working out, I was gonna get you to go play one-on-one with him. I'm thinking in my head, bro. I'm like, first of all, this is at nighttime now. Yeah. Even if I play Tyreke Evans in the daytime, and he's gonna fry me. He's gonna kill me. But I'm still excited because I'm like, if I get a couple buckets on Tyreke Evans, I'm gonna feel good.
You just need one.
Yeah, I just need one for real.
Yeah, just to show,
I need
just
one. I need one bucket and a little strip.
Yeah.
Little, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, a hand on the ball, but he still make it. I'm like, oh shit, all right.
Yeah.
But so he says that, and I'm like, damn, this is really crazy. We finally go to sleep, wake up the next morning. He's like, man, you did good. You know what I'm saying? You did good. But what I just put you through was a day in the life of an NBA player that does not get in the game. Everything you just did, that's somebody that whoever does that sits on the pine.
It was a tough day.
Tough day.
Yeah.
Hell of a day. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to quit like 3 or 4 times during that day. But I said, I can't say that. I can't say, yo, I'm chill, bro. I actually take back what I said. I don't want to do this shit no more. I can't do that. But the next day, somebody joins us. Big dude. Super athletic. He was from Bahamas. And he said, man, I'm tired of coming up there, man. I'm tired of coming to y'all open gyms, man. I be busting dude ass, man. I'm tired of that dude, man. Y'all gonna put him on the team. Y'all not gonna put me on the team. And the dude stopped. Like the coach had stopped and was like, you want to know why you're not on the team? And he is. It was a guy that he was talking about. I think he was the only Chinese player on the team at that time. He said, man, we got a contract with China because of Yao Ming. There has to be one Chinese player on that team for a period of time, and that's the roster spot that you're trying to get. You can't get that, regardless of how good you are.
To put that in perspective real quick, because, again, I'm playing devil's advocate here, and we have a lot of people that want to – you've changed my mindset about the business of sports, just hearing the things that you know, and it's a lot of it comes true. And it's like, understanding what you just said is like this, bro. you said that this is somebody who's in the league. He gets paid by the NBA, saying that China has a contract. What happens whenever any big name player goes to China? It's like fucking Tom Brady walking through.
Oh yeah.
China. So the amount of money that
China's
the
a big
NBA
America,
gets from
yeah.
having.
Oh yeah.
So the
yeah.
magnitude of what you
yeah.
just said about Yao Ming being a part of this and that's how deep this stuff goes.
They had the China jerseys.
Bro,
remember when
they
had,
literally made alternate jerseys for
Yeah.
teams Houston Rockets had Chinese. Like, if you really think about the culture that we know, Houston and China, it don't go together.
Yep.
But Yao Ming has that much influence, and it's that much of a business that when you look at Kobe Bryant go to China, you look at Jimmer Fredette even go to China, the amount of the amount of influence that the NBA has in the game of China, that's why they made decisions like that. And people have to understand that as a business, they're not going to do that just because it sounds cool. No one gets into business because they do cool shit. Because we all got ideas that can make the game better because it sounds cool and we come from that culture, but why are they not doing it and listening to it? It's about the money. And I think everything that you're about to say after this, people just need to understand that perspective, that for that guy as the strength and conditioning coach to say that and understand what we even see on TV about what guys do when they go to China, understand that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the business side of it.
Yeah, he was frank with Buddy, bro. Like, he was like, cut it out. I don't care how good you are. You ain't taking his spot. Yeah. You ain't taking his spot. At the time, James Harden, best friend, one of his best friends, Bobby Brown, was on the team.
Bobby,
remember Bobby?
Yep.
Bobby was on the team because James said Bobby needed to be on the team.
Yep.
You ain't taking his spot. I don't care how good you are.
Yep.
James is going to sign off on his boy. They don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
It is certain structures. We got to make sure our best player are happy.
Absolutely.
Got to make sure our best player are happy.
Absolutely.
And it's just one of those things, too, where you really look at it and the leagues run off of what can make us the most profit. Yep. This team winning, this team losing. This team can make more money. This team losing can make us more money.
Look at the salary cap and where that even came from. Because you got to think about these are $1 billion. The people who own these teams can do whatever they want because they got the money and the reason. And they can't, though, because there's a salary cap. Why is that?
But listen, though, here's the thing. When you talk about salary cap, you talk about how can everybody win?
Yep.
All right. This is how everybody can win. The people at the top make their money. They're good. The players got that cap. Because when you really think about it, some dudes are worth, like, for example, when Patrick Mahomes signed that $500 million contract over that 10 years or 12 years, whatever it is, he got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
For sure.
They know how much they're making off of giving him $500.
If he bring them 2 more Super Bowls, they just paid, literally those 2 Super Bowls just paid his whole salary, and he still
the
have
value of the whole team goes up.
He would still have 8 or 9 years left, and
Absolutely.
it's ridiculous. But outside looking in, it's like, damn, $500 million, that joint look good.
Yep.
But people don't understand how much money these owners really make. That's besides what I was about to say, though. When you look at it, bro, you got to really think about this. How can we all win? We can all win by doing this. The owners, I said, they're going to make their money. The players are capped. How can we bring y'all more revenue? All right? Let's think about it. Why not advertise you guys as propositions? That's why they call them player props. Zeke, Stat, you're now a player prop. All right? Yeah. Let's say you've been getting off. Your over-under tonight is 19 points. You come off the bench. 19 is good for somebody to come off the bench. All right? The game about to start. 80% of the people think, yo, Stat gonna get what? 19? That's all he need? Oh, yeah, he been cooking. 80% of the people bet on you to do over. 20% bet on under.
And they putting up $100.
They come to you and say, hey, look, hey, man, I know you've been getting off, man, but tonight, I need you to stay under 19. This is how much money you'll get if you stay under 19. You're a guy coming off the bench. You're somebody that really wants that extra cash flow.
Yep.
You going
bonus they're gonna add to your check as the player.
You're gonna really sit there and say, nah, Because for you could come off the bench and have 17 and still feel good. Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that when you watching the game, and this is why Bad Beats is a segment on SportsCenter. Why Bad Beats is a thing.
Because it's predictable.
Because now it's a section of, oh, man, everybody bet this. I'm sorry, the last 30 seconds, dude did this, and then it went over, and now you lost all your money. Mm-hmm. That's why that is. So Zeke's going to go into the game. He's going to start off hot. Everybody who bet the 80%, oh, yeah, they going to get this. He got 12 at halftime.
We saw it with that Celtics game. 2 games in a row.
You come out second half, you like, coach don't play you the whole fourth quarter because y'all up by a lot. You got 17 on the head, though, or your over-under could have been 19 and a half. You got 19 on the head. So, I mean, you got to get 20, but you got 19. You don't play no more.
Now you injured.
Now you hurt. But everybody just think, oh, that's just a coincidence. No, it's not. Yep. It's the business side of that sport because now we all winning. Because guess what? You won the game and you had 19. Again, you come off the bench. So you like, what? I'm cool. And we just won. So think about your star players. Their over-unders are always higher. 28 and a half.
You cool with that?
30 and a half.
You go average 30 for the season.
Why am I upset? Why am I upset? You know what I mean? You got to really think about this, man. And that's just the business side of the sports gambling at the highest level. But what we're talking about is now that's trickled all the way down to the high school level, bro.
Yeah.
That's trickled all the way down to the high school level. And I can only imagine, bro, as a 14, 15-year-old kid, really thinking about every decision, especially if I'm that guy, because this doesn't apply to all high school athletes. It doesn't.
No, not at all.
You got to be
Small
in the
percentage.
spotlight.
Yeah.
You got to almost be making money for yourself before they kind of attach this label to you.
I'm glad you said that. I want to ask you because I think on one hand, being guys who came up in a generation where people were fighting for what kids are getting now, getting paid for their likeness and all of that. But at the same time, we see the ugly side of it. And at the same time, what you're talking about with the over and under, I think even with the younger guys, that's the metric that they go off of to make their money is different. So
absolutely.
What do you think about the state of the young game in terms of like, because the way I see it in terms of the over-under situation you just explained with the NBA, when we're talking young guys, it comes down to you'll see a kid play for 6 different teams, and you know it's because of what he can get from it. So, like, what's your thoughts on that part of the game? Because on the other side of that, I want to make a point is that the people involved in those positions where they own the team or they're a part of the team, because you see all these NBA players got their own NBA teams. That's a business move. I mean, the NBA players got their own AAU teams. That's a business move for them, right?
Yep.
And the people that because the NBA players they're not involved in every part of that process, so they put people in place to be the coach, to be the whatever.
They'll show up here and there and talk to the kids.
They'll show up here and there, but the people who now work in those positions have a responsibility to meet a certain metric as well. To funnel this the way it needs to go. So that's the business side of the young kids. What's your thoughts on how that part of it works? And I'm not even talking about high school, because it is in the high school game when we talked about with Mikey, but we both played in public schools. So it's like.
Well, you got to look at it like this, bro. Social media is the key component of making the money for the younger guys.
Yeah.
Because of the following that they have, right? So if I'm Mikey Williams and I got 3 million followers, a business can come to me and say, hey, I need you. Can you please repost this for me? Because potentially it can reach 3 million people. Me as somebody that has 3 million followers, what's your price now? What are you willing to pay? Because if I do it for free, it can bring a lot of money to your business and I don't get nothing from it.
Yep.
So that's where that stems from, because you can't name a all-star high school player that has no social media presence.
Yeah.
You can't name one, right? Because that's what is mandatory for them, because now it's like, all right, cool. All these things, everything is calculated. If it's not a picture of me chilling, if it's some random picture, especially now you got NFTs and all that stuff. When you got guys that's posting that stuff, they getting paid for that. Like they really getting paid to market that because of the reach that they can reach. To answer your question directly of the AAU stuff is you do have NBA players that have AAU teams. You know, some of it is for the right reasons and others is for value as well, because when you think about any business, what can we do with a business? We can write everything off, all the expenses, all the jerseys, all the travel, all that stuff. So they are giving kids a platform to play on the elite team, which is cool. I like it. But you don't have a solid, consistent group of guys. You got people that's, I'm free this weekend, I'm going to play with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm free this weekend, I'm going to play with y'all. That diminishes the person that is loyal to that one team, and maybe they're not as good as so-and-so. And so comes and play with them that week, and it's a big tournament. That
and
person
invested into that as the
they're
team
invested
because
into that as a
now
team.
you got certain coaches coming to your
Yep.
games now. You're able to now take credit for that kid
Yep.
being on your team for one weekend, and now you can put out marketing material because they got your jersey on, and everything that you
Yep.
put out for them for that is from 2 games that they play with you. You can put out content for a whole year based on 2 games.
Bro, I don't even remember it being a thing that we can even do that when we were coming up as far as
It was
jumping for
very,
the
I mean,
AU
just
team.
off of the financial piece. Like,
I mean, those dudes definitely don't practice.
nah, they just showing up.
They can't. It's no way, because you got teams that are playing guys that's from the opposite coast. So it's like, how can you practice? You're not flying out there to go to practice.
Yo, one of the things that, and I don't want to sit here and be one of those guys that's like, man, I wish it was this way still. But I think when I look at the differences, like, you know, young guys, go get your money, do what you do. But it definitely, you have to understand when you make decisions and things are a certain way, it takes away from other things. Mm-hmm. And one of those things that takes away from that I appreciated about us coming up, we talked about this with Reese off the camera. When we came up, you only knew of 2 or 3 teams that was like elite, that you knew if you tried out and you made those teams, that was an indicator to you as a player that you're on the right path. And you don't really see that anymore now. Like the barrier of entry to get into a team now is based on everything that you're talking about with these young guys, where if you got 3 million followers and you're the team that you're going to play with this weekend is going to get in front of a coach that is at UNC or at Duke or at these Power 5 schools, like, it's a win-win. And I think on one hand that's great, but think about everything that you're doing because of that one player to bring that attention. You got 14 other guys that are looking at that move as like, this could potentially help me for sure, but like, damn, I had to do a lot more to get this same opportunity. And I don't think that's always a bad thing, but I think that it does take away from it in a sense, because for us, it was literally, if I make this team, I'm grinding my way to get that opportunity.
But this is why I think, I mean, this is what I would say, because I second and I echo what you said about get your money. Like,
Yeah.
get your money, young dude. Like, get it for sure. Just understand that you got to, you know, when we talk about self-awareness, it does push that back, because now you got a lot of people.
It's a give and take, bro.
You got a lot of people in your circle that's not really for you. It's about what you can do for them.
Yep.
And, you know, God forbid you get injured or the game just stops for you. Those people go away and the money stops. And then who are you? You don't know who you are.
I think
That's when those
the
dark
bad
places.
side of all of that.
Yep, that's when the dark places arise. But if I was coming up now, and just like you said, if I was that one of the other 14 guys that wasn't the marquee guy, I wouldn't give a damn. And the reason I say that is because think about us again. We can only use us because when we talking, bro, this is what we went through. To get a coach, to get UCLA's attention, you had to be in a tournament on the West Coast.
Yeah.
To get UCLA's attention now, I can be in my own backyard here in Charlotte. Social media going to show, if I'm not good, social media going to show how good I am, and UCLA coach is going to see me, and then they're going to say, all right, let's plan to go do somewhere. Back in the day, they wouldn't even know who you was because you had to actually be in their presence.
Yeah.
So if I'm one of those one of the other 14 guys, I'm more prone to want to keep being the best person that I can be, because I'm still I have a super high percentage of going Division I just by being on this team.
Being attached to it.
It's just like in the NFL, people set the market. Quarterbacks set the market. So if quarterback get paid $44 million a year, the next person gonna want 45. The next person gonna want 46. They want to reset the market every time. If the top player on my team is going to Duke, I'm in pretty good shape because all those other mid-majors or all those other Power 5 schools that cannot get him, they still see me enough. You know what I mean? They still see me enough. And you don't have to do, not to knock any of the young guys nowadays, you don't have to do nearly as much to get looked at by a Power 5 school than any other generation in life, period.
Bro, there's so many guys
in human
coming
existence.
out of Richmond that are doing things on the Division I level that coming from Richmond, we had so many guys that when we just had Tyrese Rice here, he went to Boston College, and you know that was a big move even at the time that he did that. But like if he was doing what he did then and he was a kid now playing, he wouldn't be at Boston College.
Bro, you make a couple, I swear to God, bro. You make a couple jump shots, couple layups, play a solid defense. You don't got to be a lockdown defender. That's right there. It's just that's mid-major for sure. You mid-major already off rip.
Yeah.
Off rip. And then you look at the talent pool. You look at people going straight to the G League or straight to overseas. Division I schools lose a lot of that talent. They ain't going to stop recruiting or stop bringing people in.
They're constantly recruiting. It's one
so
and done
D2 players usually are now going mid-major D1. Mid-major D1s are going high-major D1s. A lot of the times nowadays.
Yeah. You
see that and you kind of look at it, you like, dang, like, I was shocked, bro. I don't know this player's name. We were playing somewhere, and I was shocked, bro, that this dude played, and not going to call this dude trash. He was not trash. But after the game was over, I'm talking to one of my guys on Combine, and I'm like, what schools he got? He said, man, he got every school in North Carolina. And when he said that, I was like, what, him? The dude that y'all just played against has NC State, has UNC, has all these schools. I didn't believe him. So what'd I do? Go on social media and look this dude up. Bro, he got all these jerseys of him visiting all these schools. And I'm like, I'm scratching my head and I'm really wondering, like, what is really going on? It shocked me, bro. And I'm just like you. I said this before. I don't live in the past no more. I don't. Every day I look forward. So I don't relive. I wish this was like this for us or blah, blah, blah. But I'm really thinking about, like, where would that player be if he was playing in a different era? It's like, dog, he would be happy. He would be lucky to go Division II. Bro, this dude was not that good, bro. Again, I'm not going to call him trash, but he was not that good to have all these schools. So it does separate, though, the top talent from everybody else, which I do appreciate those guys. Like Rob, bro. Shout out Rob, bro. I appreciate Rob. Rob is league bound. Rob is super tough. So it's like that's when you see players like that, you like that's who's supposed to be getting this notoriety.
Sure.
And for real, Rob didn't get the respect he should have gotten last year. He's getting it now. He got it throughout the year last year, but Rob been this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like when you have a guy like that, you can separate everybody else.
Yeah.
But the business side of it is now these top Power 5 schools, bro, they can't lose revenue at any point. So we have to get who we can get. Because I've never seen this many schools of the same caliber offer the same guys. It didn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like you had to be a system guy to say this person.
Very rare.
Yeah, this person's going to get an offer from Duke.
Yeah.
Not Duke offering everybody, just hopefully praying everybody come. Yep. Duke team now look different.
Yep. Like,
not to make it a race thing, they had 5 black dudes on the court one game. And I was like, yo, it's pretty tough. Because Duke always had, growing up, they always had that one token white dude or a couple. Like, they had 5 African Americans on the court. And it looked dope.
That's what kind of fueled the UNC and Duke rivalry, is because dudes that went to UNC that now, if you look at the guys that go to Duke now, back in the day, those are UNC guys.
Players, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. But, you know, it's interesting, bro. And, you know, this topic, like I said, is very touchy because it's the truth. You know, it's business involved in it. And, you know, the people that's involved in the business can't really talk about it. But the last thing I want to share, man, and, you know, we could wrap it up there, is I was in Florida and I was at LA Fitness. And I stopped arguing with people now. But at the time, I'm like trying to get the information through a lot of people's heads because of what they were saying was just nonsense. And I'm like, what are y'all watching? We're not watching the same game if y'all think this and this is happening for a coincidence. And I'm arguing with like 5 dudes, bro. Like they going, like dudes getting mad. I'm not getting mad. It's funny to me because one day it will come out, right? It will come out, and everybody that I had conversations with, and even people that I argue with, hopefully they remember like, damn, this one dude, bro, told me this shit, and I really ain't believe him. Yeah. But anyways, I'm arguing with these dudes, man. And rest in peace, man. Rest in paradise, Ice. Ice Williams, man. Gerald Williams is his real name, but he used to play for the Yankees, played for Tampa Bay Rays, played for a couple teams, MLB. Really, very, very good friends with Derek Jeter. So he's really, really plugged in. And, you know, I'm arguing with these dudes, and Ice is on the other side of the gym. And I remember him walking over, bro, and as he was leaving, you know, these dudes are yelling. And he said, hey, y'all better listen to that boy. He just walked out. And again, it's 5-on-1, bro. So I'm really trying to get my stuff. I'm really trying to hurry me get out of there because these dudes just going to keep. And I'm talking about, you know how like it's friendly arguments, but they're getting loud, bro. I'm like, y'all doing too much. Like, but when he said that to me, at that moment, I felt like he wanted to sit down and talk to me, bro. Because when you are at that level, you don't have anybody to talk to it about. That's actually regular outside looking in. The only people you can really talk to about is probably people in the industry, in the business. And, you know, when you said that, bro, it just kind of gave me the confirmation that my mind wasn't crazy, you know, because everything that I see, everything that I've learned by watching the game, it's gotten me to this point now, you know, and I've gained a lot of monetary value off of it, you know, and I lost a lot because I was thinking that it was real. Once I changed my mindset to know that it's about business, it's about money, I started to capitalize a little bit more. So the business side of sports is scary, man. And it's not to say that this is only the beginning, but like it's going to get worse. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get worse because of the gain that they're gaining right now, because everybody and their mama betting right now professionally, right? You got people who don't even know 2 players on the team, but they think I can put up $2 to get $150. I'm gonna do it, and you constantly do that. It's just like hitting the lottery. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I guess you can close this out, bro. That's all I really got. But last thing I do want to say is this too, like. You don't have to believe that there's a business side of sports. You don't have to. You can go about your life, and because the most challenging thing about it is understanding that everything that you were brought up on, you realize that it wasn't real. And that's a painful thing to sit with. So I know a lot of people don't want to do that because it's like an in denial situation. Yeah. Hell no, you telling me everything? Man, ain't no way, man. Ain't no way, dog. I ain't believing it. And you can go about it like that, and that's cool. But just understand that, you know, really open your eyes and look at the game from a different lens, and just watch certain things, man. You got certain triggers that's like, why would this person do that? Yeah. Why would this happen? Why would the ref call this call? And it's like the ref that got caught betting, right? Forgot his name. Damn, I forgot his name. I wish I knew it right off the rip. If you can look real quick, bro, I want to go ahead and get this out because I want to get his name correct. But when you think about that guy, he has a whole story. I think he has a book that came out.
Timothy Donaghy.
Donaghy. Yep. When that came out, bro, the world we live in now, that can come out and people can really think Donaghy is the only one that does that.
Yeah, they definitely made him the villain.
Like, people will really think Donaghy is the only person that's done that. He's the only person that got caught.
Like, people really think, man, that motherfucker, out of everybody, why would he mess his opportunity up and do that?
He's the only one that got caught, and he's slapping himself in the face like, "Damn, how did I not cover my tracks?" Mm-hmm. And that's what they do. They get better at covering their tracks. Yeah. There's a 30 for 30 out, Playing for the Mob. Shoot, there's a joint on Netflix right now, Arizona State. Bad sport, bro. These are not just those are not just the two colleges that's happened to.
For sure.
But now, how can we make it more tasteful, but how can we just make it better for everybody? Just make it legal. Now we're just going to really just put it out there and say, all right, this is what's happening. Mm-hmm. Then the point shaving for the players, I think the point shaving is a different it's looked at differently now because that goes back to my over-under. You still point shaving when you're doing that. Mm-hmm. Now you're just coming out the game. You may not be missing shots, but you're just coming out the game early.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're just not aggressive. Like, that's still point shaving.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say, man. You don't have to believe it, man. But one day, you know, it will come out, and when it comes out, I just don't want people to have that like, oh my God, I'm hurt because this is like, nah, man, this is right there. It was right there in your face, and you just chose not to see it. That's it, man. You go ahead and close this out. If you got any last things that you want to say?
Yeah, man. I think, you know, for anybody that's watching this, this was more of a laid back, just us, you know, having a conversation and sharing our perspective. But, you know, the main, one of the main points that we're pushing with this platform is self-awareness. And, you know, I think me and Deuce are very self-aware to a point where we can look at things objectively. And coming from a background where basketball used to be our life, you know, to sit here and talk about the things we're talking about now, it's not because we're angry or because we think it's bullshit or whatever. We just become self-aware about life, that we look at things that we cared about differently now because we're self-aware. And so, you know, if you didn't get anything else from this, just understand that self-awareness is the first step that we talk about to being successful. And, you know, we talk about sports, and you got to understand, you got to take the reality for what it is. And that's really what we're talking about with this. I mean, it's, like I said, more of a laid-back conversation where we just chopping it up because we still watch sports. We still, you know, put money up and do those things. But we understand what it is, and we're not knocking it. But when you look at the reality of a situation and you understand what it is and what's going on, you can make better decisions. You can make more calculated decisions. I think with sports, I see a lot of people that make emotional decisions, and when you look at the way money flows in the world, the people who make the most money are the ones who sell a product that people buy based on emotion. So I think, you know, if you want to take something from this, just understand that self-awareness is a part of this conversation so that you can understand things from a different lens, just so that you don't get too caught up in it. Take it for what it is and use it, you know, for what it is, and stay focused on what's important. So, you know, with that, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, again, our goal is 1,000 subscribers. So if you like this conversation, or if you want us to add to this conversation, or if you have a thought on this conversation, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, and continue to tap in with us. Again, we appreciate all the support that we've been getting. And, you know, I think this was a really dope episode, you know, as always. And just remember, guys, man, stay focused on the mission and run your race, man. It's only a matter of time before you get the success that you create. And, you know, this was a dope conversation. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, it's Deuce and Stat from the 7 Podcast. We'll catch y'all guys next week on the next episode.
Catch y'all next week.
Working on a weekend like usual. Way off in the deep end like usual. Niggas swear they passed us, they doing too much. Haven't done my taxes.